Hi, Celebrate Life. This is our weekly recap for June 24th, 2024. It was our community meal night, which is the fourth Monday of every week. And so typically we don't have a lesson or a testimony, but we do have worship, and we spend more time in our first hour getting to know each other better and visiting. But we do still celebrate, and we do have worship, and then we have our small groups. But this week it was a special time because one of our regular participants wanted to share an amazing thing he had happened to him. It was just such a God thing. So I'm like, yeah, sure, we would love it. So what happened was he went to Altoona Curve Park for a Newsboys concert. And he is a very, I don't know how you would say it, worshiper, very boisterous, very just into it. And he was worshiping how he normally does, and he realized, hey, I can't sit in my seat. I have to go down on the ground level. And what it did was it incited other people. Some young people came down and said, hey, can we worship with you? And the next thing he knew, he was like, well, maybe I should go back to my seat. But people came and said, oh, we appreciate your worship. We want to worship more with you like that. And he felt like the Spirit just went through the whole stadium. And it was a wonderful worship experience. So in his sharing, which we were very excited to hear, and you know, everyone worships differently. And there are different traditions and denominations, you know, and it is really hard for some who don't worship in, you know, quite that way to have someone like that maybe in the room. But I feel like we all should be free to worship the way that we want, the way we need to. And why he worships so intensely is because he has been brought literally from the brink of death, from addiction and all kinds of things happening in his life. So he is truly, from his heart, appreciative of what God and Jesus has done for him. So a few questions. Well, first, a couple scriptures that he referenced. Psalm 100 is a psalm of thanksgiving. Shout with joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him singing with joy. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Go into his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name, for the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. His unfailing love continues forever, and his faithfulness continues to each generation. That is some of my favorite verses, and there's actually a hymn made out of that verse if you're not familiar with it. If I was a good singer, I'd sing it to you, but no such luck. He also just referenced Samuel 6, and that is where we see that is most noted from Scripture that King David, you know, was dancing in the streets and worshiping the Lord very excitedly. A couple questions I'll prompt you with from our groups that we used. Is worshiping the Lord only through music at church services? What other ways can you name that is worship to the Lord? If you think of anything different, let me know. Please put it in the comments. I'd love to have some interaction. You know, you can worship the Lord in such a variety of ways by giving him praise for his creation. You know, it isn't always music with each other. It can be music on your own. You know, you can just really, you know, worship God in that way. So let me know your thoughts on that. How do you like to praise and worship the Lord? What is your style? Are you open to others doing it in a different way? What is at least one way that you could try worshiping the Lord differently? Hey, why don't you share that here for accountability as well? And are you willing to look foolish in the eyes of man to please the Lord? And that came from the 2 Samuel 6:22. If you look up that scripture and read it yourself, David was not afraid to look foolish because he wanted to worship the Lord more than anything. I want to worship the Lord. I want him to know how much I appreciate what he has done in my life. He has taken a sinner, somebody that was struggling with a variety of things, issues in life, and he has given me new life, an abundant life. And that's why I do what I do, why I became a pastor, why I have a ministry. And I would love for you to come on Monday nights at 6 o'clock, Celebrate Life, 148 6th Street. and join us. You are missing it if you do not. Have a blessed week.